Great, everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So, what I will do today, I will talk about how to create a task and how to create a user defined functions. So, if you remember in the last episode, I did talk about how to create a stage, how to create a pipe, how to upload a file to the stage, and then how to ingest the data from a file into the tables, right? Now, I did mention uh, what happens when you upload a file to a stage. It will remain there, it will stay there till you go and, excuse me, and delete that by yourself. Now, there are two ways you could do that. The first one is by using a manual process. Like I said, you could do remove the stage. That's a query you could do, which pretty much will remove the content from a file, or you could also add a filter to specify what kind of files you want to do. Or you could write a task. Tasks are like a background schedule process which will execute behind the scene based on the interval you specify. Like for instance, I have a query, so a SQL query that's which creates a task on a warehouse and schedule it every hour. And the task is to remove um, the content from employee stage uh, and the pattern to include only CSV, right? So this is a very simple. Now, if you create um, like I said, right, it just a part of a process. What you want to do, right? If you are a business who wants to constantly ingest the data through files and it's the Snowflake managed, then you could pretty much write a task, right? Um, that's a pretty simple thing. And when you create a task, right, you could pretty much go to Database Explorer and just taking a little bit of time. Go to your database, go to your schema, and under your schema, you could see you have a task here, right? So now, so that's about the task, right? It's that simple. So now comes to the functions, right? Functions, there are inbuilt functions which you can get it from Snowflake, or you could do a user-defined functions, right? For instance, if I say select, um, I think it's upper. If I do hi, for instance, it will change the string to an uppercase. So if I do this, I say hi, right? Now I could define a user-defined function based on my requirement. So you don't really need to do every single time. I mean, you do user-defined function if based on requirement, right? Say, for instance, if you wanted to concatenate three text in a field, or for that, or if you wanted to, uh, make an want to calculate certain things, right? You could do that, right? I'll show you syntax. Um, so generally speaking, I haven't seen much use case, though I acknowledge some uh, organization do write a lot of uh, UDFs, that the user defined functions, as per their requirement. So the syntax is quite simple. So if you could do create or replace function format name. So this is just to say, hey, give me the upper case for a string. Is as good as writing select upper, like I did hello. But some people, go fancy and do that, which is generally a stupid use case. I acknowledge that. The reason why I wanted to do this just to show you the syntax, how you can do the UDF. Another thing, let's say I have an employee company table and I want to concatenate three fields, and when I do select the company info, it can do that. Or you could, if you have a complex logic you wanted to do that, you could do that within a function, right? It's That's as simple as it is, right? And this is how you normally create a function, right? So let me run this for you, and just to make a point, select uh, format. Yeah, oh, sorry, not this format underscore name. If I just put name from company table, yeah, and if I do this, you see everything is uppercase, right? So that's a very, very silly use case, I would say. You could also use upper, right? But I just wanted to demonstrate how you can create a function. It's pretty simple to use it, right? So for me, the highlight is to create a task. There's a background process, uh, so which will run based on the schedule, and it's a very powerful um, thing to do if you have to automate certain things. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in today's episode. Hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Adios.